I told you if you hear the song, then that means somebody is in studio. And I told you this person is a pioneer in the industry. It is exactly 7 minutes after 5 o'clock. If you're just joined us, you are listening to Woman Radio, and this is On the Move with your resident mover, to go Coxie. And I am still taking you to 6 p.m. But before we actually get into 6 p.m., we are joined by a person, ma'am. At this point, I'm even afraid to say her name. Say my name, say my name. She is one of the people who is a person who actually pushes young ladies, pushes people to actually be better than they were yesterday. And today she is here joining us. It is Miss Yvonne Tesso. Where's my horn? Where's my horn? Where's my horn? Because I need
that horn, we need that. We need that horn. How are you doing, my darling?
How are you doing, my gorgeous?
I am so blessed to be here. You're looking gorgeous as ever.
I mean, I'm looking at you, ma'am.
Am I aging though?
No, you're aging like fine wine.
Listen, I'm taking that.
You have to take it, especially if you look this good at your age, ma'am.
You know.
At this point, I feel like I'm the older one here. Ooh. I will take that.
I'm aging gracefully.
So how are you doing before we actually get into the hot seat?
Listen, I'm blessed. I don't want to complain.
Yes.
God has always been good.
Mm-hmm.
And life is not that fair. But for the fact that I'm still breathing, for the fact that I'm still talking to people,
yes,
and for the fact that I'm in this beautiful room right here, it means life is good and I am blessed. So yeah, I'm doing well.
Oh, thank you so much for gracing us with the present.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a pleasure.
You know, like I was talking to the movers earlier on about actually being an underprivileged, especially within this entertainment industry.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you and your team are collaborating, have this huge collaborating where you actually want to bridge that gap.
Yeah.
I want to find out, where did that come from? Where you're like, listen, I want to be, a part of that, a part of the change, a part of the up and comings, Yeah.
I mean, I've always been this person. Well, Eva, let me just say my name.
Yes. That is Aziz.
Yeah. So from where I come from, they call me Mamuli Evelyn Nteso. So when I entered the industry, they then gave me this beautiful name, Eva.
Yes.
Right. And somebody asked me, what does Eva mean? And I've been asking the person who gave me the name. And he never actually gave me the meaning. I said, okay, fine, Eva is just success. And why success? Because I've been so successful in doing community work since I was young.
Yes.
And coming to Joburg, I have worked with a lot of people, and I realized that we've got 2 or 3 categories of people that are in the industry for the sake of, getting the fame, pushing themselves. But you have those people that are in the industry, but they are really all about empowering others.
Yeah.
And I realized that is where I belong.
Ooh.
So when I met the team Yasiga, which stands for the cultural and creative industry,
true.
Which is Ndate Atama Fugate, Mr. Rudolph Maswangaye, LDT Buhomabazo.
Yes.
And we were joined by Ndate Tami Akambongo,
Yeah.
So when I met them, I was like, oh my God, this man, especially our chairperson, Ndate Atama Fugate, he's got such a very big vision.
Yes.
It was not the first time that I worked with him. I started working with him in 2020.
Yeah.
He met me back in the days. I think it was in, 20, hey, yo, 1998, somewhere there.
I think before,
yeah.
I was very young.
You were very young.
Very young.
I entered this other competition. They came to Bloemfontein.
Yes.
And I sang. I used to be a singer.
Okay.
And that's how we discovered me.
Yeah.
He brought me to Joburg, and I remember, we actually produced a song, if not mistaken.
Yes.
It was one song. It was a beautiful song, but it was a collaboration with other artists.
Yeah.
And then I went back home because my dad was very strict.
Yeah.
So coming back, he then introduced me to this industry. Atiazini, I have seen your passion, and I want you to join SIGA mainly because I really want to build my legacy.
Yes.
I want to give back what I have. I have learned over the years, but I am struggling to get the right people who will understand what is required to empower the young people.
Ooh.
So would you please do that? I know that you're no longer young.
Yes.
However, you've got the heart for the young people. And I said, good shot, let's do it. So that's how I joined SIGA. So at SIGA, they do quite a number of things. It's an organization that is there to look after the artists.
Yeah.
If you're not, okay.
Speaking of that, right? I know that you guys are trying to actually unite and strengthen the community, which is the art industry, by providing support. So like you know, like there are some people, you know, like who've been have been grinding, you know, like for the longest time, and they're not aware of these platforms, right? And like, you know, speaking of SIGA, right? How do they now, like, can you just take them back 5 seconds before they find SIGA and they're like, I've been doing this for a longest time, I'm about to give up? And then now, how do they actually get to a point where now they are visible or are approached by SIGA, or they can approach SIGA themselves to actually be part of the change that they want to be seen within the industry?
Listen, if you're an artist, you must know that you're a chosen one.
Yes.
That's number one. But we get a lot of artists that get into the industry unprepared. And that is the biggest mistake that we're making.
Yes.
We get into the industry because we are after fame. That is the second mistake we're making, you know?
True.
So if you understand that you've got a purpose, and you truly understand what your purpose is, music can be your talent.
Yes.
But what is your purpose with your music? It is spreading the message. It is healing the unbroken, or the broken hearts, not the unbroken though. Yes.
I love that. I love that.
You know, it is to make the sad happy. You know, so just find your niche and just find your purpose, and then after that, you then say, how do I then prepare myself for this business? This is not just a talent; it is business, because Ndate Modimo gave you that talent for you to make a living out of it. So now that's when now the real thing starts. You can't say, SIGA, I need help, when you don't even have a single profile about yourself. When you don't even have a single item to say, this is what I've done with my music industry or my music talent.
Yes.
When you have not even spoken to not even a single presenter on one radio station in your community, community. And then you want to come and say, please, I need help. So this industry, it helps those who help themselves. You understand? Yeah, so I don't want people to say, I have given up because I've done all. Yes, you have people that have done all of that.
Yes.
However, you always need to go back and say, why am I not succeeding? If I've gone through this preparation journey, why am I not succeeding? So that's where now you need to look, because failing doesn't mean that is the end of the road.
True.
Yeah, failing means God wants you to realize something about yourself. And you'd find that going back, you come back stronger. And we've been there. Eva, she's been in the industry, I don't know for how long. And you know how long it took me, honestly speaking, to be where I am today. And I still haven't reached my dreams yet. Because along the way, God diverted my plans. Because his plans are not my plans, right?
True,
Yes. I was all about fame. I was crazy on stage. I wanted to be the next level Matoza. I have been, I don't know how many stages.
Yes.
I have been to Kalawa Jazmi, I've been to Triple Nine, I've been so many places, working with celebrities.
Yes.
Wanting to be like them. But that was the mistake. I wanted to be like them. And my advice is that get into the industry, don't be like somebody else.
True.
And if you have failed, go back to the drawing board and say, why I have failed. And then when you come to SIGA, come prepared, because these organizations, as much as we are all about development, we also develop people who are ready. We also, and readiness, I'm not saying that you should have everything ready. I'm not saying that you should have all the money.
True.
I'm not saying that you should have all the full album. Some of us, we don't have the money to go into the studios and record those music.
True, yeah.
Yes. You know, but all I'm saying is be ready mentally, spiritually, and emotionally.
You know, like my father says, you must always be ready for your dreams. So I'm gonna play this song for you, and then we're coming back. It is Big Zulu 200 bars. Wow, Mel, I love that. Crazy.